Okie dokie. I think we're good to go. Which is a very shrimple thing to do. I accidentally deleted one of the tags on my stream. I don't think it'll do a ton, but I wish I remembered what it was so I could put it back. Because now I only have 9, and it doesn't make sense to me to not use all 10, right? Well, regardless. We are working on my wizard game right now. Oh, I should also mention for music. They're pretty good. I like them quite a bit. Yes. So, I have my, function here that parses all the data into JSON. Into the JSON, format, which allows me to go into the, this big old thing here and actually put it together in the editor, right? But the problem is, right now, in the editor... Oh darn, it's not there. Let me see if I can show you real quick. I don't think I changed it too much to show you. If I go like this, you can see I can move this all around, which is very cool, by the way. And when I put it back, there's an error, because we're trying to access a value that doesn't exist. And I've looked into the reasoning for that a bunch. Oh, also, I think I might want to go like this. Right? Y'all are gonna have to let me know. Hang on, let me... Really quickly, I'm gonna go here. Where I can... Huh? Golly. I'm gonna copy the chat here. Let me rename this one. No overlay will be that scene's name. Then I can paste reference here. Right? Okay. So that would be like that. A bit of mental crash, I'm just here. Okay, that's no worries, Grace. Hope you're doing okay. This should still say something, should it not? There it is. Let's see if I can... Just need to rest at home? Absolutely. Let's refresh this one. Okay, I'm basically just seeing if it's a good idea to put a version of things that doesn't have the overlay so that it's easier to see what's going on my screen. I don't know if this is actually a good thing or not, but we will see if we like it, okay? Going to make this like this, and then go like this. Whoops. Awesome. Then we can go like this. Alright, and then if I check up here again... Yeah, okay. So, this might be better for programming ones, you know? Because this way, there's less clutter. And I can... more easily do stuff. Like, for example, if I zoom in a bunch like this, maybe that's good. But then again, maybe not. Maybe I leave it like this until somebody asks, you know? That seems like good to me. Oh, but anyway, the problem that we're trying to solve here is this. So, or rather, here's the JSON data. Let me copy this and put this into somebody we can actually see a bit better. So, you'll see that aside from it having a bunch of errors, like, it mostly works properly, you know? It would look like this. The only problem here is that it should be mod 2 should, instead of looking like that, it should instead say base and then here, let me this is how I want it to be, essentially. Right? So I would hope to get that like that. Because I want to... Whoops. Because when there is a group like this one, I want to make it clear to my parser to go depth first, essentially, and do the most deeply nested parts first. Which is a little tricky to do. You know? I don't think I ever even use this forward iterator, so I'm going to comment that out and see if it kills me. Yeah, no, it's just not useful. But basically, doing that involves rewriting my parser function. So that's what I was working on doing. So what I've done here for this first part is I've basically taken my list of tokens, which should be an array, I believe. Right? I've taken my list of tokens and basically applied things by order of depth. Hang on. It's really tricky for me is the problem. Because I don't know if any of that's even a good idea. Essentially, like, oh god. It's so hard to even just wrap my head around, you know? I've got to get it so that, I want to... It's mean to me, you know. It is certainly very mean to me. I want to... I think I'm gonna do what I was thinking about doing at one point or another. Right? I'm going to copy this. Into here. Alright. And then I'm going to mess with it from here. Cause, yeah. So, this part here is fine to leave. I kind of want to rewrite everything else, though. Right? So, tokens at the current index, huh? So we are going to have print token and current index. I'm going to maybe func split tokens. Tokens, right? So then basically we will say, and this would be the string version of the tokens, I think. Maybe, nah. Split tokens by grouping. So we're basically gonna go if in tokens, and then else turn tokens, right? So if you have those, then golly, is it guaranteed? I guess that'd be over here, right? We're looking for non-overlap links. I mean, really, when you think about it, a comma is useless if I were to... I'm gonna delete all this again because I don't think it's helping me right now. But basically, if I were to just like... Oh, but I don't know how... Golly. What am I to do? Because I'm noticing... It goes straight to mod 2. If there's no... mod 1, and I don't know why that is. So if it's in a group, basically, I wonder if there's a way to say current depth started at depth 0, right? And then if it's in the openings, depth plus equals 1, right? Oh wait, current depth. And then if depth, and then if it's in closings, we're going to say current depth minus equals 1. Hey Timmy, I'm working on improving my parser that turns the rune combination data into a JSON data because I need it to work better. I'm gonna say current operations, current index, and making sense sounds. Hey, that's cool. Let's say current depth. So let me see if I need 0 and 1 are there. Well, not anymore? Oh, okay. So, I think once we do this, what we'd want to do would be, say, depth equals mod content 2, or rather we'll say if mod content 2, that. Your favorite streamer is on. You're very silly to me, Timmy. Yeah, it's really tricky. So, I was talking about it a bit ago, but the problem I'm trying to solve is essentially that if I have a situation like this, right, where I have top level, then I'll have 2 children, but then one of these childs has a second child. You'll see I'll save and quit, and then I'll open it again, and you'll see there's an error. And that's because this array is being rude. It's trying to say that mod01 is not a iterable object, which makes sense because it's trying to pass in a node like this instead of a list like this or something, which is a bit of a problem. And the reason it's doing that is because I have it so that right now currently it'll say in the JSON, it'll go when it does a group, it's going to put the comma, and then it'll put the other operation after that without considering necessarily the parsed thing. And I'd like to make it so that it does another nested part, so that I would say that the operation, like, I'd like it to be a binary operation. I would like that to be the case. And the 2 ways of doing that would be to either tell it, if you have a comma, do everything before and do everything after. But I don't think it works like that here, because it's only considering one operation at a time. So that's why I'm trying to make it so that it will fix it here. But it's tricky, because my program doesn't actually know everything, right? Whoops. So yeah, and depth is that. What I'm trying to do is trying to make it so that this will track how many layers deep it is within a nested token, I guess you could call it. And then with that, it would basically figure out which ones are supposed to be parsed first. Right? So I want to find good luck, thank you. Let me think. I want to say if token equals comma we're gonna start by just printing separation. Backslash, and with that, it's tricky. So, Alright, now, does it see the separation up there? That's okay. That's good. So that does work how I hope in that part. So if the last operation is a token there, hang on. So let's say that we'll say that the last stop does equals token, right? Whoops. But then if it is this comma, what I'd like to happen is actually instead after, because we're doing parse into JSON here again to make it recursive. So if we just here, like right here, returned, return all this. Just like what happens, you know? This isn't gonna work properly, but I want to see what does happen. So we get ourselves C dot group of A. Group again, it looks like. Oh, I see. So it ends the group early after the comma, which isn't necessarily incorrect, except so if we escape on every comma, let me see what it looks like when I do like this really quick. Sure. So when that happens, we do see mod2 dot this, but we miss one. Okay. What's your question? Do you have like a specific question here, or are you just generally confused? Because I'm not quite certain how to understand or how to explain what's going on here. Because, golly. Nothing? Oh, okay. Because you see, here we got, with base path A dot, path A. Just watching? Okay, okay. So yeah, we have base with path A, then overlapping mod of path capital A. But then the other one doesn't work proper. And I want to know why. Let's just print token current index right now, why don't we? Dot. So that's all happening. Wait, hang on. Actually, I should look closer at this. Hang on. Yeah, I was going to copy, paste. Comma. Okay. Interesting. That's right, because currently... currently... when I return, it treats that as the group closing. So... it's not getting all of the tokens because it is doing it wrong. Hang on, let me really quickly get back. Okay, sorry about that. So, essentially, either I don't want to be, or I don't necessarily want to be returning here. Right? Instead, no, I feel like we can return here. And, or here, we'll go if mod content 2 doesn't equal, or we'll even go one step further and we'll say if it's greater than current depth, then we'll say current index minus equals mod content 2 minus current depth. Is that correct at all? Allow me to comment and delete. Let me see if this makes any kind of sense at all. So we want bing, 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 bing. What does this even do? So we got, over in mod 2 we have a dot a, and then the rest of it. Right. Okay, so instead of what I was just up to, let me, in fact, delete this part as well. I don't think the current depth is necessary. Alright. Just gotta go through and cut that out. Oh, actually, this was the part we were at. Cool. Okay. So, if this is a comma, right, I essentially want it to enclose everything it's just done, right? As its own little thing. So, let me see. What normally happens to assign to the mod variable here. So it gets assigned like this. Dot assign mod parse content, right? And mod parse content only exists there. Current of operations and a 0, huh? If it's a comma, do you think... Do you think it would work to still return here, but instead we are returning... Okay, let me undo. Yeah, current operations, and then instead of current index, if we say current index here, now we do this. What if I put -1 there? No, what if I just put a 0 there? Let's try this. Hang on. Alright, and then... So, this might actually have gotten me somewhere. Let me get some space. Boing, boing. That is the correct ID, which is good. Operations, we have our base, which has just C, and then it overlaps this group containing base of A dot A. Alright. And then after that it looks like, so it looks like it ends that operation. So this would go here, which isn't quite what I want. I want this to be in there, you know? So we're getting there, but we're not quite there. Do you think it's a good idea? Specifically at... Let me find it. Golly, this is the wrong script. So specifically when it's a thing, do you think we can go like this? Right? And then so it would get back here, right? When we return from the comma. And then let me think. Mod parse content. Let me try printing mod content. Alright. That could be good for me. We go like this again. I want them to be at least slightly different. And then like so. We've got A dot capital A, which is good. So that is what we want. Then let's say I want to put like literally any value there, you know? I guess a 1 works just because it is a high signal, you know? Just it only matters to me right now that there is a third thing in this list. Because if we look at the other return statements in this function, we have return with 1, 2, return with 3 there, and that's it. So I think, personally, we can say, wow, this could be a terrible idea. Actually, I just know that's a terrible idea. Because look what we have here. I'm legitimately debating doing nested while loops. Why would anyone but a crazy person do that? But we're going to try it. We're going to say while mod content has a second value, right? We're going to go like this, essentially. And then what's the assign function do? Forms. Yeah, so this might work. Because we put all this in and then do that repeatedly until there's no more commas. Alright? This might be a terrible idea. Tiny chance that this crashes stream. Nah. I'm just overreacting. Don't even worry. Boink. Okay. So, I mean, this was a little bit meant to... Okay, hang on. Is there a... Oh, I guess it doesn't have any value yet, huh? Mod content doesn't exist yet. If mod content. What's the warning here? Yeah, don't worry about that. This should work because if it has no value, then it shouldn't, like, do anything, you know? Then, wow, mod content 2. Or rather, we should say, while length of mod content, because we probably aren't able to access a second value that doesn't exist, it'll probably yell. But while this is greater than 2, then it would do this. Wait, do you have do while in here? Doesn't look like it. But yeah, so it would continually do this and expand this as many times as needed for that. But then Let's do an else. And just do this again. Because what I'm imagining will happen. Does all this bunch, but if this doesn't... Let's try it. Oh, let's try it indeed. Boink, 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 boink. And then boink, boink, and boink. Cool. That didn't give me an error right away, which is a little odd. Let's see what we got. C dot group with group having A, and then have I done it? Hang on. Let's wait, no, this goes like that. Wait, does it? As this one would pair to here. No, no. If we put these... Because we have all this, which has the even. So mod 2 is here, right? Then it has op 3 and a dot a. Getting there, I think. Okay. So then, because let's see. Well, no, because if it has an opening, then it's... Okay, but if you're using one of these, then it must have a length, right? So instead of saying if mod content, hang on. We're going to wait until after mod content is assigned. Right? So now that we have mod content here, we're going to say wow, the length, and we're going to delete this, or at least pause that. Length of mod content greater than 2. Wait, hang on. Greater than 2. Mod content should actually... Here, I mean, I'm going to put this back up there. Okay. The mod content, I should be able to initialize it to an empty list before, right? And that shouldn't cause any problems. If that is... Okay, do while. Because I'm pretty sure the difference between a while loop and a do while loop is that a do while will ensure it runs at least once, right? So let's look at the docs for looping. For loop, while loop, darn. Is there a do while in GDScript? Uh-huh. Okay. I will do that. Why not? So, and basically what it's saying to do is, instead of checking our condition here, we just put while true. Then at the bottom, we say if. Except this time we're checking if it's false. So if the length of mod content is less than 2, break. Alright, now let's try this. Blink, blink. Now let's make sure they're different. Woo! Ooh! That's what I was worried about. Yep, it is stuck. Because it is infinitely doing its thing. Darn, I don't even get to see this stuff. Okay. It's never gonna be... Okay. If length of mod content doesn't equal 2. Let's see if this is correct. This is why you gotta be careful with the recursive while loops, because they're a bad idea and you should not do them ever. Oh? Okay. We shouldn't be seeing a second one of those is the thing. Maybe if I put this first. Because we're still seeing basically the same thing, where we have C dot group of A dot A, and then continue group A dot A. After we assign here, maybe... maybe we need to... maybe we need to do some of this. Right? Operation. We do those things. Except... because what I'd like would be for this one section here to have a base dot mod1 wait, hang on, no. I want to make it so that no, yeah, mod 2 through the end. That's correct. I want mod 2 to have base. Oops. And then, yeah, base of a dot a. But the problem is here that it ends, right? I don't know why it does that. Because I want this to not end and instead have op2 be a comma. And then op3. Oh golly. And then op3 be the other thing. The good news, at least, is that it's not, you know, dying. So, what do we do about that? Because if I put a -1 here, it would make it run twice. But here. Let me try putting these. Let me try putting these in there. Let's just try it, you know? You never know. You can try it. You might as well try it, right? You try it. A dot A comma A. That's close. It's kind of real close. So we have our base with passc dot group with base A dot capital A as well, comma A, and then that is almost it. We almost got there. Because then we have 3 with A dot A. Wait a second. That ain't right. Because we're looking for some lowercase a's in there too. Okay, so not as close as I had hoped. That is too bad. So we can't just slap those in there. Because it does seem like it just duplicates stuff. Working idea for some Pokemon streams you could do in competition. Hey, that sounds really fun. Let's see, current operations. Cause, golly. Cause if we... print mod parts content. Let's see what we can glean from this. Choo, 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 choo. Boink, 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 boink. So parse content, we have a dot a. We also have 0, 1, 2. I'm confused. So we'll go print. That's it. There's some, yeah. I didn't need to do that part for that. My bad. Okay, so the problem is that it's doing it wrong. Let's print the length of mod content now. Because now I'm a little confused, I'm not gonna lie. It seems like the for loop was only running once, when it should be running a bunch. I don't need to do that step. 3. Oh, I'm not smart. Because it's an off by 1 error. It's because lists in programming go when you are talking about their indexes, right? First position is index 0. Second position is index 1. Third position is index 2, right? So this is a array. So in my head, I was thinking, okay, the last position in that array is 2. So if the length is not 2, then you break. But that's not how the length function works. The length function says 1, 2, 3. So, yeah. Now let's see if this breaks everything and a half. Go boink, 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 boink. Oh, yep. Cool, cool. I meant to pause, but that works too. Pause. Golly. I would like it to stop, pretty please. Alright, there we go. Now then, just hide that. It a little bit seems like it's not working. I wonder why. Because obviously doing this double while loop kind of breaks stuff, right? But golly. Current index plus equals. Is there like a wait function? Or actually, I can set breakpoints, can I? Yeah, so let's do that. That ought to help. Pretty sure I told you to pause. Okay. So the problem is here, because it's adding to it, we'll go 1. So it moves to the next thing. Let's try this. Boing, 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 boing. Bing. Build our little Christmas tree. Beetle, 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 bee. Okay. See that. Still didn't work. Cool. Awesome. So it's not right at all, as you might notice. I copy here, go up to our little Deeble zone, dot dot, group, and then just the first one. Not right. No, no, no. Okay. So. It's just not quite there, you know? I think I actually need this to be on a thing for it to actually do. Put it there. 132 seems good. So, little odd. We have a dot a and a lowercase a twice, huh? So, we do the first one, get that data. Doesn't actually until... Golly! Let's do a little more of a trivial case that we know should work. We just have the 3 items. Right? Let's see. Okay, so 3 and then it went, and because the length was 3, there's another loop. Oh, but maybe what if we current index plus equals 1 again here? Right? Maybe that's correct. Maybe? I don't know. I'm gonna take my little 3-minute break though. And maybe I'll get better thoughts when I'm back. Okie dokie. I'm back. So, this probably doesn't make any sense, really. Let me... I'm gonna print... token, hang on, space, tokens, space, print. Let's see about this. Hang on. C dot A. So that's not right, as you might guess. I think now it's actually just skipping one, huh? Okay, so that's worse. Okay. So I'm seeing that got to the parenthesis, right? I think we go else print index plus equals 1, right? And also token equal tokens at current index. Let me see if this makes any sense to anyone ever at all. So C dot A. Darn. A. We went parenthesis, then A, then a comma, and at the comma, the thing, huh? What happens if I... No, because we do need a way for it to... Okay. So what if instead we make this the 0 and this the 1? So we have C dot A group A. No. Almost, but no. Okay, hang on. We don't need this. Because, hang on. What if because it doesn't seem to allow what I want properly. So, it's like almost there. But, I need to, instead of assigning this, I need to extend this. And if mod2 or mod parsed content like mod parsed content, as we see here, is this dictionary. Let me double check if I can shrimply. Let's see. How to add item to dict DD script. Because maybe it is as well, it's not as simple as just adding, right? Whoops. So mod parsed content. What if put that here and then put that there? Alright, and then instead of, so, and then we'll go like this. Mod parse content will instead hold, so, am I ever printing mod content anywhere? Hang on. Let's print mod content instead of length mod. Alright. So here we have mod parse content. Ah, gotcha. Is mod content 0. Alright. Then let's look a little more at this. You can iterate through a dictionary, which is cool. So what if I said to go like this? And then instead of, we say, for item in mod content 0, which should be for anything, at item is mod content 0. Alright. Alright, how's this? Why am I getting a warning? Use before being signed a value. Okay. We'll set this to an empty array. Then mod.sign will happen just before the break. Let's try this way. This seems like it could be viable. If it's not, whoopsies. Okay. C dot A, and it didn't work. Darn. Why is that? We have this. Then okay. Maybe it is best for this to be that way. Now we have C dot A. Grrr! What the heck? So why is there an empty here? Alright, here's my reaction right now. Let's undo everything. If we can. Shouldn't know how far it goes back. Oh. More, please? Okay, it's actually gonna be faster if I just go back to the start and undo things manually. Yeah, I'm just holding down Control-Shift-Z to redo right now. Alright. What is that warning about? Oh, yeah, don't worry about that. Cause, golly. So, it seems that... How about instead of this, I say... we do that. Print mod. Maybe this is something. No, it's not. Darn. It only ever has the one thing. So, like... Okay. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna see if I can reset it a little. Okay, let's see what we have here. This might be correct. For how it was before anyway. Because now we'll have C dot mod 2 is A. Huh? Hang on. We have mod 2 here going A, comma, A. That's right, so this part was correct. Alright. So it already had working like that. But the issue was that we couldn't get it so that A dot A comma A dot A worked. Right? That was our thing. Right, because now we have C dot group with A dot A comma A dot A. Whereas I'd like it to have basically an extra set of brackets. Maybe this is fine though. No, because it's not fine if... Okay. Maybe I can just have it put an extra set of brackets. I wouldn't know. If it's closing, right? Let me see if I can have it print current operation. We've got A, comma, or hang on, where is it? Here, I think. So we'd have A dot A, comma, so golly. Maybe I do track the current depth, right? Like I thought before. And then we'd have 0, and then on openings, depth plus equals 1, and then depth closings, we go depth minus equals 1. Depth. And we say depth equals depth, or mod content of 2. Alright. And then we say, when you're closing something, no, that doesn't make any sense. Tracking the depth is just never useful. I just like... I need it to... Maybe I even go over here for this. Right? Because when we have our grouping... in a specific group, we want to split it on the commas. Right, so let me... So we'll have this here. Oh, but golly! It would just be best if I could do it in here. Golly, this is tricky. Maybe... So let's start by going like this for one, right? Or no. Because obviously we wanted to start with the group, but then in the group, right? Or I guess we need to handle the comma in general so that will just work in the group. Golly. What if, on our, over here, input, right? We say, var, group divide, gsplit ops is an empty group also. Then, no, we can say maybe input dot, do they have split on character? Hang on. GD script split on put string on character. Let's try this. Let's see. All right. Input dot split, comma. Is that not how it goes? Hang on. I'm looking for... Okay. So, you eagerly anticipate my wizard game? Thank you, Raina. I'm working on it. I think it's going well so far. I just don't work on it often enough. So... For item in G split ops. Print item. Print like so. We're trying to get some stuff working regarding nested things. So what we want here is another list, I think, for our group. No. Group sections, I think. This will be nothing. Then we will say that equals 0. So then we'll say for char in item, if char is a opening, then we will say hang on. What we will say here is golly, my hair's a mess. So if we have an opening piece here, then we're going to say group section. Wait, hang on. We want to go depth plus equals 1. Alright? And then if it's not that, it might be that. Okay, step x equals. In fact, we should, instead of doing that, generalize it to any of the openings. And then we'll say in. The same as down here, we'll say in closings. Okay. Then yes. Okay. So essentially what we'd want would be golly, I don't know. Because we're splitting it on the sections. So I'm trying to anticipate if we have something like a comma a comma a comma a, right? I want to make sure it works if I do that. And it's hard because if I did that, then when I split it, it would go A, then A, then A, then A, then A. In fact, this last A would have 2 parentheses on it. It's tricky, I tell you. Tricky. So, I don't know if this is gonna work quite like that. So, yeah. So maybe... maybe I say... pieces equals an empty list. And I say for item in input. No, we'll say pieces equals input dot split on the comma. Alright. And then we should be able to say var p pieces or something. I don't even know. And then this will be empty. Then for item in input, we will say if if item in so if it is an opening, right? Then we know that the rest of it is part of its thing. I think we do need our depth variable. Plus equals 1. And then we can say that the rest of that token will be something to parse. Right? Right. But it doesn't work infinitely, though. Golly, this is mean to me. So... all I actually want is all I'm actually trying to do, like literally all I'm trying to do here, is put an extra set of parentheses or brackets in there. Right? So I need to make sure that it's one at a time instead of all of them at a time. Golly. So, what I need... maybe I have like a flag that says in... Or maybe we'll just have our depth after all. Whatever. Right? And then... we will say... No, that's not gonna work. That's never gonna work. Ah! I just really want it to do my thing. I mean, so... here's one way I can do it. I can tell them let me see. If I literally just put an extra set of parentheses around each thing, right? Because this will make things look weirder, but it will force it to parse those things different, which is what I do want. So maybe it's worth it? Just gotta make sure I get all of them, you know? Dot, and then... okay, so we have that, and I think this one might also need it. Oh wait, no, cause should still work. Okay, let's just see what garbage we get here. If I just start with a trivial case. Or trivial, I say, but it's not so much. So... hello, hi, King Onigiri. I saw you followed me yesterday, thanks for that. I'm programming today. Hope you don't mind. Or rather, hope you enjoy. Welcome indeed. So... Little interesting. Thought I followed you a while ago. Oh, that's silly. Ooh, coding. Yeah! It's gonna be a wizard game. About programming. I'm a bit of a nerd. The basic premise is that you're going to be using this sort of interface to combine these different concepts. I don't think you can see them too well there. Oh, that's the wrong button. Hang on. This one. You can probably see a little better here. So you can see, these different things are labeled with different concepts and words. So you'll be combining these in different ways to make phrases and then spells. I'm working on making the parser for that. Oh yeah, Why Is This Wizards? That's exactly what it's called. Why Is This Wizard? Yeah, I need to update the website at some point. But what I'm doing right now is, if I start it again, right now it does not work if you do something a little bit complex, where you have like, a nested directory structure, like this. So it doesn't work if I do this. And I mean, it works to drag around in the editor and everything, but if I save and quit, then right-click it again and drag in that same item, you'll see it has an error and crashes. I am going to move back to here, just because I like my little overlay. If you prefer it being bigger, let me know, because I absolutely can leave it that way. But it says invalid property access on key 0, that's here, on type nil, which means that rune operation output didn't work properly. So that's not good. But if we look here, there's some output from my thing. What I'm trying to do is make it so that when you have a grouping, and I can show you really quickly what a grouping is. So a grouping is when you have your top level one here, but then you'd have two lower ones. So this top one is considered like the parent of both of them, but then this one and this one would be considered in a group with each other, because you're supposed to apply the same overlap operation to both of them, right? And that means that you have to treat it differently. I actually did need to get some data really quick by doing my more complex case and seeing how it looks in the editor. Because now I'm trying to make sure the JSON file I'm making works properly, right? And I'm doing that by basically having it put in these extra parentheses around stuff to make sure that it considers this and this its own thing and respects that. The one thing I am noticing is that it has an extra operation here that I don't want. But maybe I can ignore it, because that might work perfectly. That might be exactly what I've been after this whole time, like literally for the last 2 hours. If I go here now, then what I'm looking for is down at the bottom. Let me actually just, like, because it's not all the, like, putting stuff together works, right? I can put anything together in any way I want it, you know? And it would work just fine. There's a couple of things I've forgotten how to do, actually. Let me think. Is it Control or R? Oh, I forgot you can rotate them too. G. So it's hold 1. Oh, whoops. Oh, that's good to know. If you, oh, yeah. If you open and close your inventory in it, apparently it breaks. I learned that just now. But, that was not what I was trying to test anyway. Because I have a more complex grouping thing. I actually really should just get rid of whatever it was before. Drag Trackable hand. It's always fun learning bugs that you want me to find. Oh, absolutely it is. I'll leave it as it is. It doesn't matter right now. Yeah. I've forgotten quite a bit of things about it, because it's been a bit. But basically there is a way to create an extra grouping symbol. And I'd like to remember how to do that, because I wanted to fix it and change it to just essentially go and make it the same as a regular draggable, but it doesn't matter. I'll fix it after I finish fixing this current thing, you know? Speaking of, I still never actually got around to putting that data in my debug. Blink. Oh. So, one funny little bug I'm not quite sure how to fix is if you instantiate this on top of the other one, then you can't pick it up and connect them right away. You have to move it away and then move it back. I've known about that the entire time. I just don't know what to do about it. Or if I even need to do anything about it, really. I actually can go like this. So what we have, rune operation output of 0. So what I'm gonna do is go in here and just assume that it works, because I haven't seen any of the errors yet. I'm going to hide these print statements. That might be the only one. Yeah, okay. So, because I'm gonna start wanting to get some of these in here. Because what function is this that I'm looking at right now? This is the rune combo parsing. Which should mean... Should mean it should work a little bit. You know? Pretty soon I'm gonna take another little break. But not just yet. Let's see what we got here. So we have our combo parser. And we have rune 1. Then rune 2. And the operation is this group. Is that correct? Well, hang on. It says the error is invalid access or property to null. Here, let's check post full op. Is null. Okay, so yeah. Perform full op here is returning null, which is not usual. It's not supposed to do that quite. It does detect that grouping of... It detects that it's doing a grouping of A and this, but it shouldn't be doing a grouping of that. Hold on. Hold on. It's just not behaving at me. I'm gonna take my quick break now, I think. I think I'm going to be going for who knows how long longer, and I will need a little break. Okie dokie. All back. So, the first thing I'm noticing is that, post full op says no, which is bad, because it shouldn't say that. Because that's parser. So that's up. Where was... Yeah. Okay, let me just search for it. Whoops. Welcome back. Thank you. We're looking for parser. Full or post full. So yeah. Headpads for me. I'll activate those. Click. There it is. So yeah, obviously the reason we're getting an error on this value being null is because this value is null, which is bad. Yay! It's not supposed to be null. So over in the perform full op function, where is it supposed to return? A return. So it's a grouping, right? Oh. I think is because... Hang on. No. Grace is wrong at me. Incorrect Grace is what they call you. So we've checked this off the to-do list. So the reason the value is null is because I had assumed... No. Click. So I had kind of assumed previously, falsely I might add, I had kind of assumed that basically every time you had these parentheses, it would be preceded by the operation that was applying to each of those items. But now that I've edited the way I create the rune IDs, and the way that, which is editing the way those rune IDs are put together next to each other, it's no longer the case that every pair of parentheses is connected directly to a thingamarang. Oh, more headpads. Okay, we'll put them back on. Thank you, King Onigiri. I wonder, did you make that username thinking of the rice ball treat? Or as in, like, Zoro One Piece? Anyways. I essentially just need... Or I should essentially just need... to copy this... Right? And then we will, roll that back. Take this out. The One Piece is real. It sure is. It's not a good sign when the code I've just copy and pasted has a to-do that says make this work. You know, that's a little ominous. We're gonna leave that in, though. Good luck, absolutely. This is my code, I wrote that to-do months ago. Grouping of this, then we're starting the nested parsing. So we instantiate data, if the basis array. So what do we need odd operation in there for? Well, let's see, it's in the second parameter, which means that it is, we scroll up, the operator. Okay. So at this point in time, let me... For every rune in the group. So why does odd op work there? Oh, that's because in this situation here, there's something like the, there's one of these single character operations preceding it, right? Okay. So that's why odd op 0 works in that situation. Doesn't work here though, because here there is no preceding operation. Alright? And this is the perform pull up, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So we actually don't know what the anything is just now. So I think we might have to delete all this. Alright. Because this is... yeah. So what we do, delete. No, it's my head totally understanding. Yeah, uh-huh. Exactly. So, what we gotta do... essentially, we're just gonna have it... Well, I mean, we're already printing things, right? Grouping of this and that. Right? Right. M. Let me undo a couple steps. Alright, because we do want to say if the base is an array, then we do want to do this part here. Alright? And then the group is going to be rune combo parsing, location here, yeah. So 3, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, the locations would be there. Okay, then the mod, which would be this. Then rune data is comparing less than base. Okay, so that should be fine. Right? So that should work on rune combo parsing there. Oh, okay. And it's dinner time, very, very late dinner time, so you just take your leave. Of course! Yeah! Awesome, hope to see you again. Hope to see you around. Good night, good night, good night. I might be close to getting something good here. I might be able to replace odd op 0 with a comma. Because theoretically, if everything else here is working properly, then for each rune in its group, you are applying a linking between them. A non... yeah. And then... like, let's just try that. Click, click. Wee. Boink. 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 Click. Anything wrong so far? No. Okay. That did give us a different error, which I think is good. Some other things are not so good. For example, if I were to copy and paste these two, are they identical? They are identical. That means they're referring to the same object, which is bad. So 32925, 32928, huh? So what's the error I got? If we're looking at post full op, wait, hang on. Where is post full op? That might be a normal thing to see. Post full op, rune operation output. Okay, and rune operation output would be the regular stegular thing-a-ring. Alright. And that has this form. Alright, so we have our let's see. So, let's see what kind of thing we're seeing here. Because instance 1 and instance 2. Okay. So, this first one here should be the base of the group. And optional G base. What will that be set to? Oh, I guess it wouldn't be set to anything in this case. Or might not be anyway. And then instance 1, we'd have base and mod. So let's look at what the actual error is that we're having. Invalid property key 1 on draggable row. And where is that happening? It looks like line 268, maybe? Yeah. So, if mod is array, huh? Full up mod array contents. Okay, what are we in? So we're in the dot, huh? Okay. Mod is array. That means okay. So it's having an issue because this is okay. A little strange. I think it's behaving improperly here. I think it is behaving improperly here. Because they did say goodnight. Did I say goodnight to them? I hope I did. So, if mod is array here, I'm going to say print mod of 0. Or rather, we will say if mod 0 is array. Right? And we're going to say else print mod 0 is draggable. Okay, see if that solves anything at all. Boing, 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 boing. Bing, 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 bing. Yeah, mod 0 is draggable there. Says overlap draggable with that draggable. Okay. So what I'm going to say is in our dot operator, comma there. So we're going to say elif mod 0 is draggable rune, right? Right. And then we will say instances mod. So we will go with this maybe. Because that's what we would want to do. So we'll go like this, perhaps. Mod 0 in these cases. And we'll reparent it like so, and then instead of m instance there, we'd go mod 0. Let's see if this happens to work out, huh? Boing, 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 boing. Boink, 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 boink. So that's not right. We lost all of it. It is no longer there. That's a little odd. Ooh, golly. So I think what we want to do is not entertain it here. Because I don't think it's supposed to be able to do that. I think that's the unintended part. Okay. So leads into group of one null. So let's look really quick for combo parser R. So we have rune 1 here, and then rune 2 here, and the operation is a grouping. Why would that be the case? Oh! Hang on. This here is wrong. A dot A. Wait, that's still... Okay, hang on. Whoops. Let's make sure that everything's correct over there, because something tells me it's not right now. So let's go up to the top here again. We have base dot group of operation nothing group. We have a dot a and a. So that's wrong. Yeah, okay. So that explains that. Why is it doing that? Also, music stopped. There we go. So why would it do that? Hang on. So we have base dot a and then base. Okay. Did I leave some code in here that I shouldn't have? Okay. All right. Right. Oh wait, what's it saying? Out of index 15 on base array. Huh? Print token. Let's try that again. Okay. 7. And then it skips ahead. You see here? 7 skips to 11, 12, 13. That's why we're missing some. Alright. So if we comment that out, because that's 8, 9, 10, 11, huh? Which would be 8, 9, 10, 11. If I comment that out, what does it look like? So I imagine this will cause some other problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then again, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5. It looks wrong still. For good reason. Okay, so it is needed to skip ahead. Alright. Maybe by -1 though. Maybe it accidentally goes too far forward. Oopsies. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it is missing the comma though, I'm noticing. Maybe we just have it go plus. No, because it's gotta be related to the amount that it needs to skip, right? We have 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we want it to go to 8, so... current index. No, we're actually good without doing that. There's gotta be a way, right? You're back from making synth sounds. I'm glad. Hope it was fun. So what I'm seeing is that if we add the current index from here to the current index from here, well, it's going to be embarrass you as much as possible, March. No, no, no. You would like them? I bet I would. I like this. Because the reason it is skipping ahead too much is because it has to go, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Maybe we do have a depth. After, I'll keep going back to this too. Oh, darn. So I keep on going back and forth on whether or not I need a depth variable, right? But I think it could be helpful here. Oh, whoops, I started at 0. And then if it has opening in it, so depth plus equals 1 has a closing. You go depth minus equal 1. Oh wait, no. Wait, yes? Well, we go depth here. And we go depth here. And then on here we go depth. And then after that, we say current index plus equals mod content minus depth. And then depth equals 0. Or maybe depth minus equals 1. Let's see what this does. First, in this trivial case. Okay, that did make it, in fact, go forever. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Cool. Uh-huh. The depth should get to 2, right? There we go. Depth plus 1. Maybe we go plus 1 minus depth. How'd that go? Okay. Okay. Still not quite it. Getting late? It sure is. You think I should end the stream soon? Might sleep soonish? Yeah. Up to you. Well, let's see. What if I just made this equals? See what happened. You have work tomorrow? I have work in the afternoon tomorrow. So it's probably worth going to bed soonish, huh? That does seem correct, right? Perhaps. Hehe. Let's see if this works correct. Dot group bingle and then bing and then here. Oh, whoops. And then group. It is weird that there's another grouping symbol there. I don't want there to be another grouping symbol there. I guess, though... No, I do want that to be there. Right? Yeah, okay, so that's correct. Now let's try the complicated case. Boom, 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 bing, boom, 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 boom. Okay, so it still didn't work. Let's double check that our JSON worked. So we have meh. Oh, hang on. Boing, 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 boink, 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 boink. Golly! Yes! Bless you. Thank you. Yeah, that was a sneeze. Okay, so that does work. Don't know why it was different before, but it's better now. So that's good. Bless you. So what's the error here? Invalid property access on 0 type nil. Oh, so it didn't return from this again. Alright. Is that correct? Yeah, grouping of null. Hang on. Why is it a grouping of null? Huh? Right. So this optional G base is optional. And I just need to make it stay up. Unless... No, yeah, that's correct. Okay. Then in that case, then, number 0 and 1. So on post full op, why is the full thing null though? Because it would be a grouping like this. Let's put a breakpoint there. Okay, so my breakpoint didn't work. Darn. So I have to... Wait a second, actually. Breakpoint is there, which means that it returned from something else, didn't it? Oh, it returned from the... Wait, where did it return from? Because it should have... It says it started nested parsing. Yeah, so that would be here. Okay. I think I'm gonna add a little to do. Somehow it returns null when it shouldn't. Okay, and then I think that is gonna have to be it for tonight. Because I'm eepy. So we're going to find somebody to raid into. Click, click. Was a good day. Was a good session. I like this person. They got silly little cow emoji and fun tags. We'll go into them. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for Celeste, I think. And I'll see you then. Bye. Bye. Thank you for being here.